Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. We have a great show lined up, a special guest here in the studio, some really neat things going to help you be a better fisherman. But first, let's take care of our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. A pleasant day, high of 72, low 61. Water temperature is going back up 2 degrees, 71.5. And it's going to be a really good fishing this weekend. We got maybe a little bit of rain coming in later on, but it's going to be a good weekend to go fishing. So go ahead and start making your plans now. Our river reading is brought to us by Mountain Dew, and their motto is a great motto: take it outside. And we want to encourage everybody to take it outside and grab a Mountain Dew when you go. We're looking at the Apalachicola at Bluntstown. It's at a 10.6. We just can't get it below 10 foot. It's at a 10.6, and the Choctaw at Caryville is at a 7.1. And the Choctaw is going to start falling out probably tonight, and the Apalachicola looks pretty steady all on through the weekend, not much movement on it. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn here on 23rd Street. Strong tides, excellent tides for the weekend, really strong tides as we're getting ready for that full moon of next week. We've got a low tide at 12:15 this morning. We just had a low tide. It's coming in right now. It's going to be a high about 146 right after lunch, and then it starts dropping out same way this weekend. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with our guest. Welcome back, and welcome to our guest this morning, all the way down from Mossy Head. Gil, good to have you.
Thank you so much, Winston. Appreciate you having me on your show.
Gil's been on the show about a year and a half ago, the Mossy Head Bait Company, Gil Price, and he has such a cool thing going. And I asked him to come back down because he's made some advancements from this early invention of his, and all the way down from Mossy Head. And how's things up your way?
Tell you what, life's good. Life's good, you know, especially it's great weather we're having. The fishing has been really good. The business is moving right along, and I'm in a business now that every time the phone rings, somebody wants to talk to me about fishing.
Well, that's a great business to be in.
Life's good.
Let's give you a brief go over background again. Retired Air Force.
Retired Air Force. Did 26 years in the Air Force and the security forces. I was in the military working dog program most of the time. Did another 20 in civil service, working in information security, and retired about 3 years ago. I just couldn't stay retired. So I had been using this little mesh to catch sheephead for a number of years, and after I retired, I told the wife, you know something, we might be able to make a little money off that. So that's kind of how I got started, you know, making this little mesh bag that you put oysters in, you inject the oysters in, and I kind of came up with that concept. And I said, okay, well, we'll go for a patent. So that's still pending. Takes years to get a patent. So anyway, that's kind of how it developed. And I figured, you know, we'd maybe make a couple of $1,000s a year or something like that. Just something to do.
Like a little hobby.
Just a little hobby, something to do. And well, the anglers out there had a different idea about it. They really liked it. And I started out having a few sales in, you know, Florida, Alabama. And within about a year and a half, I got sales in all 50 states. That's
awesome.
And 10 foreign countries.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
You know, and
well, let's look at some of the results. Let's look at these pictures. This is some of, tell us about this first picture right here. This is some results of your bait.
Okay, yeah, that's yours truly, me. That's a couple of years ago, and that's a limit of sheephead when it was 15. And I caught those on oysters. You know,
with the mesh bag, okay.
Right, with the mesh bag. Of course, you just can't keep an oyster on the hook, you know, unless you do something, you know, other than just stick it on the hook. So that's a limit of 15, and those went to a fish fry. And you can see the size of those fish. Those are all real nice sheephead.
And then you decided then, that's one of the signs, you sort of experimented, you got your baiting going, and you said, that bait's working now, isn't it?
That's right, that's right. Now those guys right there, Captain Terry Brown is a guide over in the Destin area. That's two of his customers, and he's been using my product and sending me some pictures, and a couple really nice sheephead there. Captain Terry, about a month ago, won a tournament over there with my product.
Well, April 6th, that was recently.
Yeah, he took first and second place.
And he uses this wrap system.
He uses the wrap system. Okay. He's using oysters. Now, And of course, you could put fiddlers in the wrap too. I mean, if you're after sheephead, the fiddlers fit right in the wrap real good.
That's cool.
Okay, that's another picture of a customer with a real nice sheephead. I'm not sure where that was at. I think that might have been South Carolina.
Okay, off
where
the
that was
jetty
caught,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
And here's how other fishermen are starting to use this.
California.
California. And this guy is a sturgeon fisherman, and he takes salmon eggs. He buys my 4-inch wrap.
Okay.
And he stuffs it with salmon eggs, and he catches those big sturgeon with it. Over there, you can keep sturgeon.
I didn't even know the fish was sturgeon out there.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
All right.
This guy looks familiar.
Yeah, that's JB from the Bent Rod Fishing Club,
okay.
and that's one happy guy right there. Take a look at the size of that black drum. He caught that in the Santa Rosa Sound about a year ago,
wow.
winter a year ago, using this system. And
using a wrap fishing system.
Yeah, I had oysters in there, and man, when he hooked up on that, he went for a ride.
Well, I know he was happy on that. Okay,
yeah.
So that's some good picture. That shows the success of what you've been able to accomplish.
Yes.
Yeah. And you got it from California to Carolina, from all over the place.
Oh, everywhere, all 50 states. The Carolinas, Florida, Texas, Alabama, California are probably the states that buy most of my product, but then it goes all the way inland to the trout fishermen. They're putting salmon eggs in it, fishing for trout.
And my buddies and I, Bill Allen and Bill Shields, we're still going to try this out on trot lines. You know, we got messed up last year with storm and all in the fall. But,
that's right. Yeah. This does allow you to use, like, you would a person that's putting out limb lines or a trot line would never consider putting chicken liver on it. Never.
Yeah.
It would just be a waste of time.
Yeah.
But we all know chicken liver is a good bait.
Oh man.
But with this system, you put the chicken liver in the wrap. You put the wrap on the hooks.
Well, I promise you, we're going to do that this summer. We're going to do that this summer. And do you have different sizes? Let's see.
Right. Yeah. What's happened is I really started out with one size, but as my customers would call, they'd say, Gil, how about, could you make a wrap for this or make one for that? We need one a little bit bigger. We need one made a little tougher. Have you got some material to make it tougher? So yes, this developed like that, just listening to the feedback from my customers all over the country. So yeah, right now I go all the way from a wrap that's 1.5 inches long, 3/4 inch wide, that's basically for oysters, mussels, and clams, or really whatever you want to put in it, but it was designed for that. And we go all the way up to a 6-inch wrap that's 1.5 inches wide, and that's basically developed for guys that want to use cigar minnows.
Okay.
Frozen cigar minnows. They're real tough to keep on the hook. You're in 200 feet of water. You go down, you get a little bump, you reel up 200 feet, you do it over again, right?
Well, that's a new frontier for you then.
That's right. That's right. So,
okay, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk about some of this, all the way from catfishing to bottom fishing with the wrap system. So we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Today we're with Gil Price from all the way down from Mossy Head, which is a suburb of Defuniak, with the Mossy Head Bait Company. And tell us, keep talking about it. This is really cool. This is what he invented. He and his wife worked really hard on this. And you know how we love to have small businessmen, and especially, coming, stuff he invented. So let's roll with this, Gil.
Okay. Well, again, just feedback from our customers. They were asking me, can I do something about cigar minnows and some of the other real baits that you buy that are frozen, and once you thaw them out, they're good bait if you can keep them on a hook, and that's always been the problem with cigar minnows. And there's other baits they buy, like little mackerels and anchovies and stuff like that. But once they thaw out, they're so soft you can't keep them on a great bait, but you can't keep them on a hook. So I came up with a 6-inch wrap, and that's basically made out of the same material as my small wrap, but it's kind of designed for cigar minnows.
This is a small wrap here.
This is the 6-inch wrap.
That's a 6-inch.
Yeah, this is the 6-inch wrap.
Okay.
And because most cigar minnows you buy are going to be somewhere between 6 and 8 inches.
Okay.
Now the one that I'm demonstrating today is a little on the small side, but basically the wrap protects the cigar minnow. Now that's a typical cigar minnow that you're going to buy. That's the way you're going to get it. I bought these yesterday, frozen, and I thawed them out, and you can see it's already falling apart. You can imagine putting that on the hook, getting out there in 200 feet of water and trying to catch snapper and grouper with it, okay? You ain't even gonna get it to the bottom. But what you do is you just simply slip it in there like that.
There you go.
Okay? And you take the hook, you hook it through there, you hook it through there, and here's the cool thing. What you do now is you twist that, And you just keep twisting it until it tightens up around the cigar minnow.
Oh, like a shrink wrap.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, now that's a really small one. Now, a normal cigar minnow that you buy is a little bit bigger than it, and he's going to fill that out better. But all you do is you twist it until it tightens up around the fish, and then you slide it up on the hook, and you bring it back down and put it through the eye.
Yeah, how about that?
Now this down here again, if it was just like that.
Okay.
Now, we was out about a month ago, me and my brother, fishing with this. Now, you can go to my website, www.rapsfishingsystem.com, and check out my videos. But we were out about a month ago testing this system, and my brother Juan went down. We were in 132 feet of water. He went down. He hooked 2 fish and missed 3 bites. And then on the 6th hit, he caught the snapper. Frozen cigar minnows.
On the frozen cigar?
Same bait.
The same bait. You don't get that.
It's just not going to happen when you just put a cigar minnow on the hook. You're going to get 1 bite, and either you hook the fish or you miss him. That's it. But with this, he had 6 chances and got him on the sixth.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay, so that's the cigar minnow. Now, another thing is cocktail baits.
Okay.
Now, what's that? Okay, a cocktail bait is simply 2 or more baits combined. You're taking advantage of of the oils and the essence of whatever the baits you're using, and you're combining them. And I picked this up in Europe many years ago, but it's not something that's done here in the United States. You don't see it too much unless you're a catfisherman. Now, they got all kinds of stuff they come up with. But for the normal saltwater fisherman, no. Well, I developed this one bait. It's shrimp and menhaden oil. Shrimp is one of the most common baits you'll find anywhere. And what's great about shrimp is that it's available 365 days a year, 24/7. You can always buy shrimp. So you're not necessarily, and I've come up with this bait, it's almost as good as live bait. Now, a lot of people say that, and I can only say, hey, try it. But if you go out in the Gulf of Mexico and get out there, and first thing you got to do is make bait. You spend an hour, hour and a half trying to catch bait, or you try to get to the bait boat. Maybe he's there, maybe he ain't. Maybe he has bait, maybe he doesn't. So you spend all that time. But you really don't have to. Take that shrimp, and what I do is I dehead it, peel it, mince it, and then I mix it with menhaden oil.
Okay.
I put it in the injector, squirt it in the bag, and down you go. And I'm gonna tell you what, that's a killer bait. Killer bait. Snapper, grouper, porgies, I mean, anything that eat a shrimp or a menhaden is gonna get on it, okay? So, it all kind of started out with the small syringes like this.
And when you first came on the show.
When I first came on, this is basically it.
Yeah.
Okay? And here's what the feedback I'm getting. I don't sell this other stuff, but this is what fishermen are doing, and they're telling me they're doing it. If you got a lot of bait and you want to put in the wraps, they're starting to go to caulking guns.
Oh, okay.
And basically this holds 10 ounces of bait. You know, they modify the tip, put 10 ounces of bait in there, and a lot of times they'll make up 4 or 5 of these and freeze them. And they just put them in the freezer. Next day, I mean, you're ready to go.
Leave it up to some fishermen to just think about things like that.
They will absolutely solve the problem.
That's how,
The other one, that you want to get a little fancier, a jerky gun.
Okay.
Now these are really nice stainless steel components. They really last well. Again, 10 ounces. Now the thing about the jerky gun is you do get a lot more pressure to squeeze the bait through than you do a normal caulking gun. So these are really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the other thing is just modifying the regular syringe. You cut it off, put this ain't nothing but a soda straw.
Okay.
Okay? And now you got a bigger opening and you can squeeze the bait through there a lot easier with this one right here.
That's cool.
But it's all easy to do. Now I'm probably going to start manufacturing these myself because the customers that have seen it when I've used it and showed on YouTube, they've asked me about it and asked me about it and asked me about it. So I'm probably going to start manufacturing these. So now another thing a customer called in and said he's having great success with. Now this is one of the wraps I'm making right now, and this is the one that we use in the Gulf a lot. That's 4 inches by 3/4, but they're simply taking Christmas tinsel
Okay.
and tying it on the end of it. And it's making a big difference.
That's creative.
That's creative.
That flash for the bait fish.
When you're doing it like that, now when this thing is full of bait, I mean, it doesn't look like this anymore. I mean, it starts taking on the characteristics of a fish. You got that shrimp and menhaden oil in here. And then if you combine it with a jig, okay, you slip that on there like that and combine it with a jig.
Okay.
And, okay, you're really getting into something here. I mean, it's a simple device. I mean, but this is what they're coming up with, and it works.
That's creative.
Okay, very creative, and that's what they're doing.
Okay.
So,
all right, we're at a point now. We got a lot more stuff to show you. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. All the way down from Mossy Head Bait Company, Gil Price with all kind of neat stuff. Let's look at our fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. We're looking at 5:43 to 7:43 this morning, this evening, 6:12 to 8:12. And let's add a name, Brent Donner from Mariana. Brent said, all right, Brent, good job there. Mariana. All right, now, we got a lot more stuff to show and all, and so let's go on with it.
okay, well, I brought a sample. This is some shrimp that I basically just run through a meat grinder real quick.
Okay.
That's 1.5 pounds shrimp. How far does this bait go? Well, I'll give you an example. Me and my brother went up to the Tennessee River about a year ago. Went up to the Joe Wheeler Dam area, and we went catfishing. And we got up there, and of course, you know, I've never fished that area, so we basically asked the local guys what they're doing. And basically, when you're fishing for catfish there, you're going to be using shad. That's the local bait. Okay, and there's millions of them in the water. So that we did that, and we did catch some fish, and we took some chicken liver with us, and we took some shad guts and put it in the wrap, and so on and so forth. But this bait, we took some shrimp and menhaden oil, and we combined it up there. And it really surprised me because the shrimp and menhaden oil outperformed by a good bit the other local baits. That goes against common sense. You would think those shad in the water, that's it, okay? You match the hatch.
Right.
Okay? But we caught on 1/2 pound. Now this is 1.5 pounds, so on 1/2 pound of shrimp with the wrap, we caught 57 blue cats.
Goodness gracious.
57 blue cats. And we were averaging 4 or 5 fish on one wrap, one bait.
That's fascinating.
So the economy, in other words, yeah, you're going to buy the shrimp, it does cost you money, but if you go out and catch 50 catfish on 1/2 pound of,
that's good.
Well, what's that, $4 maybe?
Yeah, that's
$4 in bait. Add a little menhaden oil.
Okay.
The menhaden oil is really the secret,
okay,
in my opinion. All right, that's the magic elixir. And this is the way you normally buy it. You go to Bass Pro, okay?
Okay. Bring it over just a little bit more. Yeah, bring it over a little bit more. Right there.
That's 1 gallon, yeah.
Fish attractor.
And what I like to do is break it down and put it in. I'm just using a salad dressing container here. Okay. It could be a whatever container you want.
You just don't mix it up in the refrigerator with your regular salad dressing.
That's right. You pre-mix it. Okay. Now, warning, fishermen, do not get this stuff on your clothes, or your wife will not let you in the house.
I know.
You're going to have to defrock before you come in. Believe me, my wife is here. You can't see her on the corner, and I can see her doing her head like this.
I see her shaking her head.
Okay. Don't get it on yourself.
Okay.
Okay. But it only takes about 3 ounces of menhaden oil with this 1.5 pounds of shrimp, and you're ready to go.
Okay.
You're ready to go. Okay, so that's a cocktail bait. That's just one cocktail bait.
Okay.
You can take a squid and grind it up.
Yeah.
Mix it with menhaden oil. Or take shrimp, squid, mix it together, mix some menhaden oil.
That's
okay?
cool. Yeah.
On and on and on. I was out in the Gulf trying various baits. We were grinding up hot dogs and mix it with menhaden oil, putting it in the wrap and catching red snapper. Doing the same thing, going to freshwater, catching catfish.
Well, same thing. Yeah.
Same thing.
That smell. Yeah.
But what I'm saying to the fishermen out there, I know that you're going to be able to come up with your own little secret cocktail bait that's going to work in your local area at a certain time of the year. Everybody might be using the wrap, but what goes in it is your little secret, whatever you come up with.
Okay, let's tell people before we run out of time how they can get a hold of all of this stuff now.
Okay, well, I'm online at www.rapfishingsystem.com.
Okay.
And that takes you right to my webpage. It takes you to, you can just scroll through, look at the products we have. I'm selling hooks now that match my wrap. And you can see all the various wraps that I'm using now. We've got several different sizes now and 3 different types of meshes, because the fishermen in their feedback have asked me, you know, to come up with some stronger stuff with larger holes, stuff with smaller holes. So basically, the 3 types I've got right now, this is my type 1. This is the one that most fishermen are buying. Okay, it's got the larger holes in it. Okay, this is my type 2. And you're going to be able to see that that's a lot, the holes in that, the mesh is a lot finer, okay? And fishermen that use a little water, base a little bit more watery, that helps them out quite a bit. And then the type 3 is a much stronger wrap, and there's variations of this. I've got a double wrap that there's 2 layers of this mesh, and that's what I'm using in the Gulf a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so it stands up to it. But this one right here is really good for pompano. You take this one right here, and it's and fill it up with clams, you're going to catch pompano.
We're going to try that out. Well, Gil, we'll always run out of time. I want to compliment you on first of all coming up with this, and one of the things that really sticks out in my mind, you listen to these other fishermen. They call you up, and then so y'all feed off each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're not going to learn a whole lot by talking. But if you listen, you're going to learn a lot. Okay,
and we're so proud of you. And you're in all 50 states. And how many units have you sold so far, or roughly?
As of 3 weeks ago, 177,000.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Here it is, local here in the Florida Panhandle, coming up with something like this and being that successful. And because he's one of us, and he's real people doing real things. So thank you for coming on getting up early.
Thank you very much, Winston. Appreciate it.
And we're gonna try this out. Okay, we tried that before it works. Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. Another big show tomorrow. Give away some seafood tomorrow. Special guests coming in. Do something good today for your fellow man. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.